sound effect on the video this, I expect. Let's bring it down below. I trust you can hear that. It's quite a gale. Yeah, it's supposed to get stronger through to about 2 o'clock tonight. It's going to go at like 30 knots or something, plus gusts on top of that, of course. That's the average wind strength. And then should calm down. And tomorrow it's supposed to be actually reasonable, so we look forward to that. And I'm hoping to move tomorrow, get going. Fingers crossed. Hi all, I'm Tony. This is SV Tapatya. We have been building and recently conducting sea trials on a 31.8 foot Jay Benford designed sailing dory junk rig schooner, which means 2 masts with 2 junk sails. And if you've been following, well, you'll know what's been going on. Last week saw us in Vordingborg in Denmark and sheltering down from some wind, and the forecast really wasn't particularly positive. There was a lot of wind forecast, and in fact, looking back from here now, it's pretty much still going on. There really hasn't been much in the way of, you know, non-windy days, shall we say, strongish winds. But what I had coming up was a 2-day window, and I really wanted to use that 2-day window to get back to Germany, where I intend to overwinter the boat and do some winter projects. And I'm here in the workshop talking to you now and starting to get ready for those winter projects. I'm making a start on them, actually. But say, a 2-day window, and the night before it was blowy, and as you'll see, I didn't get a right lot of sleep that night, which didn't make for the fittest me to set off. But the forecast said the winds would drop during the morning, and I waited till about 10:30 in the morning and felt that they had indeed eased, no doubt. And off I set on what is actually my first ever solo sail, where I'm the only person alone on a biggish, I've done dinghies obviously, but actually voyaging alone on a sailboat. And you'll see what happens. But before we get to that, I'd like to get to this week's video's sponsors. And it is indeed you, lovely viewers, the wonderful people who support us on Patreon or via PayPal. They really, really make these things possible. And of course you for watching, and hopefully watching the YouTube ads, because that is how this whole enterprise is funded, well, plus me. However, recently my YouTube revenue has taken a bit of a hit, and that does make things a bit sparse, shall we say. If you can find it in yourselves to watch the adverts, I would be very, very thankful. Why would you do that? Well, you may well have followed the boat, the build, and now it's time really to see what this boat will do. We've been out testing her. I've got a list of things to upgrade this winter, so there'll be a lot more boat building projects coming up for the next few months, and then we'll be setting off and seeing where she can go, taking her out into the North Sea, into the Atlantic Ocean, and seeing exactly how she really does perform. And you know, as you probably know, this boat, she's a little bit alternative. I feel like I'm a bit of a slightly alternative guy, and it'll be very interesting to see what we really can do with a self-built, slightly alternative boat, how capable she is. So that's what's coming up, we hope, in the next however long. So if you could see your way to watching the ads, or perhaps go to extra mile and pledge, you know, the price of a cup of coffee a month on Patreon or via PayPal, that would certainly be appreciated, and I, in return, will strive to produce interesting and quality content. Let's get back to Vordingborg, where it was a blustery night. Bloody hell, it's windy. It's 2:15 in the morning. Wow, we're tied to a dock and it's still a rough ride. It's incredible. It's going to have to get a lot calmer for me to go anywhere tomorrow, I can say. The forecast is it's going to drop, but wow, it's something else tonight. Trying to get a bit more sleep. Try. Well, quite a night last night. Very, very blowy, but as per forecast, it's calmed down. About 15, 16 knots of wind now. And I'm about to go out on what's actually, and this is incredible, this is incredible to me, my first ever solo sail where I'm the only person on the boat. I've done it a few times where I've done all the sailing, but somebody else has been on board. It's the first time I've ever done it completely alone. And I'm a little bit nervous to come tonight. The kids are out sailing, they're sprit sailors. It all looks very lovely. Time to go for it. So we're underway. Got out the marina without too much problems. And I've got some sail up, not the right lot, but a bit of mainsail up, and we're doing over 3.5 knots, dead downwind, decent breeze. Going well so far. Yeah, pushing up towards the 4 knots with just a scrap of mainsail up, really. Very nice, coming up the channel. It's still quite breezy out here. Taking it on the beam at the moment to get out to the channel that runs under that bridge up there, which hopefully you can see. Still got that scrap of sail up, still going quite well, so it's very good. Blowy, fairly blowy. Little bit of sail. Well, I'm out of the waves, up as far as the bridge back there. It was quite wavy. In fact, I'd looked at Predict Wind's wave charts and they said 1.5 metre waves or something, and I did scoff at it a bit. I thought it was unlikely, but they were right. That's the VHF in the background. But here it's flat. You know, 20 centimetres or so waves. It's basically flat, and we've got 3 panels of the main up. That's all. We're doing right now 4.5 knots. I have seen 6 knots. I've just had those 3 panels up the whole way. And now it's easy going, it really is. And the forecast, which hopefully is right, is that it'll ease as the days goes on. So when I get out into the Baltic proper, it's just a little channel basically. Get out into the Baltic proper, it should be lighter. Assuming the forecast has got it right, and looked at several different models. The 2 best ones around here seem to be the UK Met Office and the European mid-range one. Although I did check the PWE, which is the Predict Wind's European average thing as well. So they all agree, which is always a good sign. And we're going on really well. 4.8 right now. Give you a little pan. Grey day, but no foresail up at all. see, head that way down this channel. There's the bridge behind us, which I hope you can see on this channel, on this camera. Yeah, so far so good. So far enjoyable. I didn't get a chance to get the fenders in, so I'm doing a bit of slobberly sailing with fenders out. It's something I really don't like doing, but it was too wild out there, and oh well, fenders are getting the drag. That's all there is to it. Anyhow, once we got under the bridge, it's all smoothed out. Jump home. That is the sound of a jump jibing. I'm going to go up the other side. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. This is a bit of excitement for you. Action shots. Out, jump home. That is the sound of a jump jibing. I'm going to go up the other side. Well, I highlighted that because it shows one of the strengths of the junk rig, and there are several. There's an accidental jibe, of course, and you know, I'm talking to the camera. I don't notice a shift in the wind as we're running dead downwind, and we jibe without me being prepared or aware. But that's the beauty with the junk rig. It really isn't. There's no danger to the rig, and as long as your boat's set up so the sheets don't sweep the cockpit in the jibe, there's no danger to crew either. So there you see, a great example of an accidental jibe, and it was really quite easy to deal with. Well, we're coming out into the Baltic proper now. Be the kind of the bottom end of the horizon, and the voyage channel, which I shall attempt to show you. We're in there, right over there, because it's very shallow where this channel between the islands meets the actual Baltic. Follow this, and then just going to skirt down the coast. It's about 15 miles or so down the coast, which hopefully will give the wind time enough to drop a bit so that we can anchor safely tonight. Well, the hook's down and it's very okay, nice and calm, going quite close. We're about 10 foot deep here. Beautiful, nice spot actually, sandy beach. And it's just after 6 o'clock, so sunset is in about 15 minutes I think, so I won't bother with the anchor board. I think I'll just switch the anchor light on. Should be away before lights tomorrow anyhow. Six o'clock in the morning, about to get going for the crossing to Germany. There's a little bit of breeze, which is good. Got the engine running, warming up, about to get the anchor up, and yeah, so keep going. You can see a hint of colour from the sunrise over there. A little bit of oranging in the sky. Lovely. Well, we're sailing, unfortunately hard on the wind, and not as fast as I'd like to, but there you go, you can't have everything. It's not the wind that was forecast. It's supposed to be a beam wind, and that's not what we've got. There we go. Take what you get, don't you, clearly. So we're making okay speeds, far from fast, and I say hard on the wind, as tight as I can get to it. But the course is not too bad. It's not ideal, but well, we're 10 degrees off of the ideal course, 10 to 15. Not too bad. Nice sunny day. It's chilly though today. Forecast high of 10 degrees C today, so it's, yeah, I guess summer's done. But all looking pretty. Well, all of a sudden it's not very nice. Got a bit of a squall. Wind's blowing fairly strong. I've I've had the reef, put a double reef in the foresail, one in the main. I could put a second in the main really, we're still a bit overpowered. Yeah, how things change all of a sudden. But we're doing okay. We've improved our speed up to 4 knots or so, I think. And course is much better. In fact, we're making up a bit of that we were losing earlier. It's positive in some ways. Oh, it's jolly cold. It's icy rain. It's sort of horizontal icy rain. Bah! The rainbow! Hopefully signals the end of the rain. Well, it is a very tricky lunchtime. This tiller pilot's a disaster, it really doesn't work. I need to upgrade that. Wind vane coming certainly, and maybe a better tiller pilot. I did hold the course for a couple of minutes while I managed to get myself a bit of food that I cooked yesterday, which is cold pasta. Well, it's all a bit tricky back here. I need some kind of autopilot. Well, I'm managing, but it's not easy. Not easy. Basically, I have to be on the tiller all the time. So sail changes I can do by letting go of the tiller, and she turns up into the wind. That's fine. I'll do whatever I need to do, and then get her back on course afterwards. That's fine, but I say I just need to get some food and have a wee, and the telepilot managed it just about, but not long enough for me to eat anything as well. So that is on the list. Other than that, going well. Luckily I have some lovely rolls of halyard in the corners here, and they're very good for storing things in. Stop them sliding around. Just across the shipping lanes. There's a big fella going the other way. And starting to see a bit of signs of destination up ahead, which is good. I've got on really well, faster than I expected. But I think I need to switch this off and concentrate on what I'm doing. So we've got a problem. The engine was doing the hunting thing again very badly, to the point of actually nearly stopping. So I attempted to bleed it, and have succeeded in making it worse. For some reason, the pump that I installed to pump diesel through to bleed it doesn't pump, as though there's some kind of blockage. And anyhow, along the way I've got more air into the second filter, and the engine doesn't start anymore. So we're a sailboat, you know, we're sailing at 1.2 knots right this second, but I don't know where we're going to go. It's got to be somewhere that I can anchor under sail. I've got to find an alternative, or somehow I mend it as we're going, but of course that's tricky, because as soon as I let go of the tiller we go anywhere but the way we want to go. So we'll see what comes of this. Got to think